Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sim, back with EBA Season 4. We're doing our draft analysis. Apologize for sounding a little tired. It's a little late, and I've been doing this for way longer than I should have, but I can't quite seem to get it right. Like it has to be perfect for me. So this is take like almost 10. But EBA is a Wi-Fi league with Ubers and high tier terror attacks. Here preview. What that means is every Sunday you'll be seeing an upload from every coach. Today you'll be seeing the draft analyses. Next week you'll be seeing the week one battles, so on and so forth. Now for the draft format. Ubers means that round one, everyone will draft an Uber. Ubers are free of cost and everyone gets one of them. But it has to be your round one pick. It can't be anything else. After that, that continues as normal. Terror ruling. High tier terror attacks terror preview just means that you have a budget of 28 terror points and you have your budget of 115 normal. You take them on like Tornadus Therian. If you just draft Tornadus Therian, it is going to be 17 points out of your 115 budget. But now, if you want Terra Tornadus Therian, it is going to be 23 points out of your Terra budget and your base budget. You're left with 5 Terra points, and it's going to take 23 out of your 115. So you're gonna see the strategy of drafting one Terra captain and then wanting them to get the most out of their base points and not wanting them onto increase and use more points than it should if they're not gonna Terra and Avalug over a Torn Key. Or you'll see people looking at it and be like, I want my mons to be as valuable as they can. So I want my Avalug to Terra, because if I need to Terra my Avalug, I have it. We're gonna see both thoughts on that throughout the draft. And it's pretty interesting looking at stuff like that, seeing some things get used. Like Zarude, it's a 14 pointer, has really bad typing. Terra, it's one of probably the best Terra captain in the game. It's 23 points, it's able to shed its typing, unreal stats, good typing now, super solid. Whereas Clefable in the same point, tiers 14, like 15 with Terra. It's good because of its typing mainly. You don't want to get rid of it. So, moving into our draft, we ended up getting pick 9 out of 14, which is really, really bad. There are two main ways to look at Uber's draft with this format. You can look at it from both sides, which is you're getting the best Uber available, pick 1. Or you can look at Heist's side, and you're getting the worst Uber available at pick 14, but you're getting the best follow-up pick, and then both is going to be worst follow-up. The best and worst have to be used loosely in this situation because there is no real best Uber, there is no real best follow up. It is dependent on the player, it is dependent on what they're planning to get, stuff like that. You're gonna see like there is obviously an advantage to getting a better Uber than there is getting a worse Uber, as the Ubers are the main focus point of the job. There's also an advantage getting last pick and getting Terra Tusk or Valiant or Terra Torn, something like that after your Uber, instead of getting first pick and getting one of the lower tier first picks. So you can look at both sides. Unfortunately, I don't get to look at it from either side of those, as I got almost smack dab in the middle. But I'd say honestly probably the worst part about getting smack dab in the middle. You're not getting the greatest follow up and you're not getting the greatest Uber. The Ubers you're gonna be missing out on are Lunala, Jox's Attack, Palkia Origin, and Kiram Wave. Those are probably the 4 best Ubers in the format. Now the Uber I won the most going into it was Magearna. I love Magearna. I think it's such a cool mon. I also build legit for my teams, and I have a legit Magearna from the Ultra Moon event, so it would have been really, really cool to be able to use that. Unfortunately, it did not happen. Um, yeah, you're not really gonna see any of these mons fall to pick 9 in this format. So it was what it was, and we had to make do. So we saw the draft started off with both picking Dio Attack one. Not too shocking to see that. Wasn't expecting it to fall to me. Actually, pick number 2, we see Flutterman, which is a huge thing for me, as Flutterman was never being drafted by me. It was never on my board, so that means I'm essentially I have to worry about 8 picks before me instead of 9. Moving on to pick 3, we see McGearn get taken by Mr. G. McGearn is a great mod, so I wasn't too shocked when for me. As you said during the first three picks, two of the ones I wanted to fall to me got taken, so it's looking just fantastic from here already. Now we're gonna see pick number four. We're gonna see her take Zamazenta base. Zamazenta base is a great mon, but it was never my plan to give it. I talked to her a lot. He's one of my better friends in this that's happening in this draft. I wasn't gonna take it. He wanted it, so I was gonna let him have it. Same thing happened with her Hunter at pick five, taking Palkia base. Never really gonna go for it. But pick number six, we saw Rain take Palkia Origin, which I didn't expect to make to me, but it was close enough that I was holding out some hope that it was gonna fall to me. Now at pick number seven, we saw Sage take Kieran White. I was never really gonna pick Kieran White as I had it last season, but it would have been nice to have it there in case everything else I wanted got taken. Now the pick right before me, we saw Ducky take Ho-Oh. Now after this pick, I went I started to assess what I could take. So, looking at what mons were left on the board, we saw stuff like Steel, 150 in each attack time and speed. It's a great wall breaker. We saw Giratina Origin, a very versatile mon, can be physical, offensive, especially offensive. Can be a more bulky set. We saw Diet use a great in BBL. We have something like Zekrom, pretty solid counter team Uber in this format. So it's like, it would have been a great pick for me. We saw something like Rayquaza, 150 each attack stat, super versatile, wide move pool, unreal mon. We even saw it through the final supers in BBO and Dialga Kieran Blackfall. So as I was assessing these are the main six that came to my mind and looking at the tier list. And I noticed one thing that I saw that kind of caught my eye. We saw Lunala still there. Now, Lunala is probably the best Uber allowed. So when I saw it was there, I knew I had to pick it. But I was still debating on other things because I felt like they could help my future picks more. But I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't let what you want later on impact what you're taking round one. Your round one should always be your best one. That being said, though, the one I wanted the most was Terra Salmons. So I was never picking a Dragon Uber, cutting my options down from 7 to 2. Now, weighing between Lunala and Deoxys, I ended up going with Lunala. So, my name theme this season is draft players and creators that have had a positive impact on my draft journey. So, Lunala, our Uber, is named after Kaz. So, Kaz is someone I've looked up to in draft for quite a long time now. I watched his BBR videos a lot, taking notes on how he played, prepped, thought, stuff like that, and I saw a big jump in my skill there. Kaz has also been great, uh, helping me out, giving me tips on things, giving me some advice. So I probably wouldn't be right to name him anything other than a Ruber. Lunala is an unreal mon. It has a great 137 attack that's super bulky with 137 HP. Charged with an unreal ability. It has some great coverage on the special side with Focus Blast for the normal types of Ice Beam, and Meteor Beam for power herb sets, and Moon Blast for dark types. If you don't want to run Focus Blast, you have your Moongeist Beam, your Psychic, your Psyshock, your Thunderbolt, and you also have a great range of status moves. You have your Calm Mind, your Agility, your Moonlight, your Screen, your Teleport, your Trick Room, Will-O-Wisp. There's really nothing that Lunala can't do, and I'm really excited to use it this season, whether it be a lead, a breaker, a sweeper, whatever. There's so much possibility for it. I'm super excited to use it. So I take water, a little parched. Next up, we see Garchomp, we see named Diet Tight. Now, Dai is a great person. He is so nice. He's so enthusiastic about everything. Super nice to like everyone. He's just a great person. Um, it's been great being a part of his server and being part of his front office, helping him. He's super nice to interact with and everything. So I really want to name a Mon after him. So I had some names that I were like stuck. So let him pick between some Mon. He ended up picking Garchomp. Garchomp's Unreal Mon with rough skin, rock helmet, defensive sets. You know, you have spikes, stealth rocks, detail on the defensive sets. There's Earthquake. You see Dragon Claw. You can see SC Scale Shot sets. You know, you can hit specially sometimes with like Fire Blast, Burst Power, just things like that you wouldn't expect. If you have like a super physical mon and it gets blown up by a Fire Blast, a Bear Jumper, a Draco. Um, it's a super good mon, especially to fall up. No, costing 17 points, taking our total budget down to 98. Super good mon though. Really excited to use that. I think it pairs well with our Lunala. Now pick 3. Your Quavel, Mr. Step in Voss. Quavel is named after OG Albion's Quavel from BBL. Helped OG Albion prep for it, and once I picked, I knew I had to name it after his. Quavel is an unreal mon. You got good attack stat in 120, solid defense stats in 85, 80, 75. It's got good utility too with flip turn, encore, roost, spin for like the defensive type stats. You'll see your aqua for cryo, aqua step, triple axle, close combat. Your Moxie and Torrent, two great abilities. Moxie lets it be like the fastest snowball mon in the game. You can see run some defensive Torrent sets. You can see something like Kaz's Endure, Custab, Torrent, Clock from Summer Scramble, getting the Torrent boost from Custab. To boost Oxlip, Scared to Iron Boulder. There's so much Qual can do. It's unreal. I'm super excited to use Qual this season. I think there's so much I'm able to do. I don't think there will ever be a week where I can't find a Qual that gets some value. It's just the amount of utility it gets. You know, you also have SD, you know, bulk up, there's sub, con, there's everything. This mon can do so much. You can knock off items, be more supportive set. You have U-turn if there's what they called water absorb mon. It's just there's so much the mon can do with its coverage and its utility. It's gonna be a great mon to have. Next up we got Crocodile. We got Big Boy Moxie. This is named after King O5's Moxie song. I was the waffler on King L5 and OG on this podcast an episode. Um, because during my physics exam I couldn't get their mock song out of my head. Uh, so I had to make a tribute to that song in these names. I had to be the punchline for Big Boy Moxie Crocodile. Crocodile's a fantastic one into Moxie. There is so much this mon can do. You know, you can be a defensive set with like knockoff, uh, stealth rock, roar, con, EQ, stone edge. You do a lot from that side. Has like dunk shots hit. Fairies has dragon tail for more phasing. You can also physical sweeper set with Moxie Scarf. There's so much you can find for Quavel or for Crocodile, and you will always be able to find some use, and you'll be able to find that it does a lot of things that it shouldn't be able to do. BBL Finals, Owen had a Crocodile to beat a Terra Fighting SD Boulder. You like Terra Fighting CC +1. You're gonna have your Dark type be the one to take that. You saw Keegan have a Crocodile to beat a expected Terra Fairy or Faluna in BBR week 2. Again, you're gonna have your Dark type to take on a Fairy type. There's so much that you can do that you shouldn't. That this will be another month that it will be hard to find a week where it doesn't have any value. I think he's pretty much always bringable. Moving into pick number 5, we see AirPods Zaklefki. This name comes from L5's BBR week 1. He had clicked Sacred Sword into a Goldango. predicting the swap, and um front his thumbnail was uh, Keldeo wearing AirPods. So keys, AirPods, all things you get lost. So I felt like a fit Keldeo. Or fit Clucky. Holy. Clucky is a unreal support mon with pranks. So you have Keywave, Switcheroo, Light Screen, Reflect, Bikes. You'll have your foul play, your play rough, your dazzling gleam, your flash cannon. You don't have unreal bulk stats, but they are high enough to where you can build it to one side if need be. You can build it to take physical hits and have helmet and set reflect, or you can build it to be special hits, have lay clay with light screen, or be leftover or something. And then you also have the um magnet rise sets with Calm Mind. You have T waves to stop down the sweepers. There's a lot Cliff you can do, and there's so much support that has. And then with it being a seal and fair, there's some nice roll compression for my team at the moment because I had 3 fairy weaknesses in my first 4 picks. It got worse. So I feel like Clicky added a lot to my team, and I feel like it was a worth it pick round 5. Knowing that my next pick would sit. So pick 6, I went with Terra Salamence. Salamence is named Owen after OG Albina. That's his mascot mon, so I feel like I had to do it. Salamence has Intimate and Moxie, 2 great abilities that it will be able to use either one most weeks. With Terra, it uses Intim a lot better than it does without it. Being letting it be a physically defensive mon with helmet or and then roost. A defensive Terra like Fairy, Water, Steel, come in, take some hits, roost up. Oh, you took 2 rounds of helmet. Okay, well I'm back at full. Like it's just gonna sit there a lot of time. It can be so defensive. It's a pseudo. It's got really good bulk stats, with 95 HP, 80 defense, 80 but then with intent, just it's even better than that. It's got great offensive, 135 attack, 110 special attack, and Terra being able to boost the damage even higher, getting an extra stab on your Dragon Claws, your Dracos, getting Terra Flying, Terra Blast, or Boosted Hurricane, being able to go Terra Water with Hydro Pump, being able to go Terra Fuel with Iron Head. There's so much events can do, and I think your Terra Captain really has to be a mon where it isn't locked into one role. It can be defensive, it can be offensive, it can be mixed, it can be physical or special. Terra Captain has to be able to be a mon that can come every week and bring value. I think Mence is one of the best at doing just that. I don't think there will never be a week where I don't bring it. There'll always be a set to provide value for the matchup because it's a super versatile mon, especially with Terra. It was the mon I wanted to use the most, so I had to get it. Maybe the next pick we got me coughing the wheezing. This is what Owen named his wheezing in BBL. Um, kind of glazing him right now, but Owen's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude. Um, Wheezing got 2 really useful abilities: levitate and infiltrating gas. It's super Fizz Def with 120 Fizz Def, 65 HP. Not too bulky, especially with only 70 special defense. But he doesn't need to be taking special hits. If you're bringing him, you need to bring physical hits. He will take those physical hits. He will do what he needs to do. He'll show up. He'll switch in on those grand moves. He will neutralize and gas the Torrenti's regen. He'll get rid of guts on the Ursaluna, whatever. He'll do what he needs to do, and he'll do it well. He's got some good utility with Willow, Toxic, T-Spike, Pain Split. He had some decent coverage with like Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, things like that. That he, when you need to bring him, he'll be able to do what he needs to do, and he won't be alive. You will never be upset bringing your Weezing if you have to. You'll be able to find a set that works. I feel like that's one of the most important things with drafting is being able to find mons that will be able to consistently bring sets that work and won't ever be like, oh, I need to bring this mon, but I don't have a good set for this mon. Like you don't want that on a team. I think Weezing is pretty early wheezing, around 7, but it filled some important roles for me, and it picked that main box. Now moving to my pick 8, we got Where Shooting Go. So Where Shooting Go is a name from a die server. He didn't know what the abbreviation for what's good meant. And then when we were talking about it, he said jokingly said where he thought I said where it's shooting go. So I had to incorporate that into my names. So we have our SPL where it's shooting go with Terra. We had 10.7 their Terra budget after Ments, and S1 is a great Terra captain. Magic Bounce is a great ability bounce stopping or making them not want to hazard stack as much. Great speed step, good offense. It was a really nice mon. I really need some special attack. I do tend to draft a very typical team. That pattern was repeating this draft. You got some decent coverage on Espeon, but it does lack in some things. You can't really hit steel types. But then Terra gives that little boost in easy with being able to go Terrifier. You have screens, you have T-Wave, you have your trick, you have your baton pass, your call mine. There's a lot Espeon can do. And I feel like it filled some good roles for me to warrant taking it, and I really needed a one-team speed tier. And I wanted one I would actually bring. I didn't want to get like Horus or anything like that. Apologize for the silence, but it's like my 10th time recording. My throat's super dry, so I've been coughing and need to take water a lot. All right, so our round 9 pick, we went Skunk Tank. Skunk Tank we named Sage after Sage and EBA. He runs it with me, and he's the one that got me in the draft. We both had started a Natex league towards the end of 2021, I want to say. Maybe end of 2022. I think it was end of 2022. Um, but ended up stopping after week 2, and then I didn't really play draft anymore. This was in like November, it ended. But then in June, he messaged me, said he had a league, and then I joined that. I had a blast. Now here we are today. So I had to give him um some like respect with the name. And he loves Skunk Tank, so I give it to him. Skunk Tank is it's a very good role compression mod. You have your knockoff, you have your sucker punch, you have your toxic spike. Aftermath is a great ability. You can give it helmet. You have your explosion, whatever. There's a lot Skunk Tank can do. Whether it be aging things, being a knockoff interrupter, even Mento too. If I want to get to a setup Ments. Super Fang's great at getting through those bulky mods like Geo Defense if they're just kind of sitting there. And it's not going to come a lot, but when it does come, I think they will be able to provide with some good needed utility, filling a specific role, getting an item knocked off, getting a cryo hit in, popping an aftermath, or whatever. I felt like it was a pretty solid team, especially with some role compression, giving me a perma grounded poison and another solid dark type, and a not very weak mon was one of the big things. Next up, we had to go with our fairies. We went with Arcanine H. This is named Lycanwolf after Dai's team. I'm not really like Knockback close enough. Arcanine H has two really good abilities. In Intim and Rockhead. Flashfire is okay, but you're a 4 times resist, so he won't really ever run it anyway. Um, you have your Flare Blitz, you have your Rock, Head Smash, you have your E speed, your CC. There's a lot this dude can do physically. You have your Sci-Fang, fighting types. Raging Fury, Misty Corner and Banded Raging Fury 1 week. Your Wild Charge for the water types. You have your rocks. You can run Sash, Rocks, Lead. You have your Will-O-Wisp. You have Roar, Morning Sun, defensive sets. There's just a lot Arcanine can do. And we're building like sort of an Intim core. We have an Intim core, of a Moxie core, It's definitely an interesting team comp we have here, but I do like it. Looking at it, I feel like Arkansas added some much needed immediate offensive pressure. You have Lunala can add that. Garchomp sorta Quack struggles at immediate offense. It's great at forcing uh progress in the builder, but it's not the greatest immediate. I'm coming in, I'm taking a kill. Uh Crook is decent at it, but not the greatest. Mence is good at it if you're running like a bandit set or something. Espeon's not bad at it. Then Arcanine is I really started the show on our team with Bandit Head Smash, Bandit Flare Blitz, being able to run all that stuff to get in and be able to click Bandit Head Smash and take a kill when I need it and then open up my late game options. Our 11th pick we had Munchlax. Um, Munchlax is a weird pick. Um, I went with Munchlax as it is pretty good at beating like Spectre or Fluttermane or like the top ghost types. Something my team did not love right now. Um, I didn't end up playing the Fluttermane team, but I wanted to draft Munchlax in case I did, covering for that option. Um, Munchlax isn't gonna do a lot. You have your thick fat, you have your gluttony, but he's gonna be like Eviolite most of the weeks. He has a high attack side and he has counter or HP in his counter. He also has Encore. So he's not super set fodder, but Munchlax won't be doing much. Munchlax is named after L5. I had a couple months I had the name last L5 on the pick. He picked Munchlax instead of Munchlax is raw. He said he feels like a Munchlax. So we have L5 on our team. I told him I would make sure to bring Munchlax one time this season for him. Keep an eye out for that. And our last pick of the draft, we have Keegan, the Jolteon. Jolteon does not know ball, and neither does Keegan, so the name fits. We have Volt Absorb. There's another electric immunity. If needed, Quick Feet is nice to get above some of the top like high speed mons like Valiant with booster, like Bundle non-booster, stuff like that. Boulder with booster. We should we get edge over them. We can T-wave it. We can do whatever. It's a decent mon offensively. It doesn't have the greatest coverage. You have your T-Bolt, your Volt Switch, your Lung Voice. You have your Calm Mindset. But Jolteon won't really be doing much. He won't really ever come. But if he does need to be brought, he will be able to do what he needs to do. And I think that really was why I picked him. I was looking at Keel Watch, I was looking at Teleon. But all of them, if they came, they would struggle to do what they needed to do. Jolteon comes, he does what he needs to do, and that's what I need to draft. So that's what made us go for Jolteon over the rest of it. So that is our draft. Our draft ended with Lunala, Garchomp, Quaquaval, Truck, Klefki, Terra Salamence, Weezing, Terra Espeon, Skuntank, Arcanine, H, Munchlax, and Jolteon. We made some in-draft trades for Quavel and Crook. Quavel got sniped, then we ended up trading Exegil and Urshifu Rapid for Quavel and Landorus and Carnot. And we traded Landorus for Crook. And I really like how our team turned out. I think it fits me well. It fits what I need in a team. There are definitely some aspects that aren't really my style. Like having a team of 12, I normally go for minimum mons, get the best I can. Changed up this season, not sure how it'll go, not sure how it'll work. I think I have the team to make it work though. But yeah, that is gonna be it for me today. I will see you all on Saturday for my week 1 team builder, the day before the battle goes up. But that is it for me now. I will see you all next time. Peace.